I was up early. Thought I'd get in my shed, get on with that parenting programme. And I didn't take the dogs out yesterday because the weather was really bad, and I had my head in my laptop. It made me realise a few things. Going through all the parenting stuff and psychology of the child and basic needs and parenting. And that's really where my passion was. Hey, I'm okay, up early. Good morning to you. I'm just talking about the realisations from doing a bit of reflection and things that have happened this week. Just put me back to before, doing this parenting programme, obviously, that's what I was doing. I was working with parents beforehand. And so getting my head into that and looking at where my mind was when at the beginning of this week hearing the news that I heard and then relaying the news and finding out that it wasn't true, and I was already emotional about certain things, coming to realisations about endings and how people have moved on and how things don't fit, paradigms have changed. At the bottom of that, family is what's always been the most important thing, and for all of us, I think, certainly the people in my close circle, and there's only a handful of those, literally. So yeah, it's because I was going through what we're going through when I fell upon it was drawn to my attention, the universe is a strange way of putting us on a path. My mindset back then that led to me losing my job and getting on the campaign trail and fighting for justice and all the rest of it, I was fired up, I was angry, there was fear, I guess, for the protection of the young and vulnerable and things like that. And when it's your job to protect or help families, then that just doesn't end when you finish work. And as you know, I've not been in work for a long time, but I've had a period of readjustment and settlement, and things have, I've gone down different routes, and I found myself back to where I belong, really, I guess. Rejection is protection and redirection for the soul. You think you're losing something, but actually what you're going to gain is usually a lot more. And maybe asking me to get involved with the demo in Hull has stirred up the old psyche, and I think I've always been an advocate for limiting screen time for children for reasons that I'm well aware of, and though I ignored my own advice and gorged on Game of Thrones and all that violence and corruption, feasted on it. I enjoyed most. I'm only missing the last series, but do you know what? I think it got into my psyche, and then what happened? I mean, a child was murdered this week. It doesn't take away from that, but how I reacted and react to things was what I've been reflecting on, and I think we're all just a creation of living, breathing creation of our experiences, our hopes and our hard work, really. And part that's that's been to places where I won't really want other people to go. And if I can help somebody manage a situation better by communicating more effectively, then I think that's my life purpose, is strengthening families. And I think putting my concentration into that instead of, I want to be a journalist, I don't even think I wanted to be, but just keeping the campaigns alive, I guess. But really it's time to go back to family. It's time to go back into what's important to me on a personal level. And you know, I do say peace, love and light a lot, but I get angry a lot as well. And happiness comes from doing better than you did the last time, whatever you do. There's no failure, there's just try again, isn't there? There's just opinion, and it's every interaction that we have has a purpose, and we have to take the lessons and the blessings. And I will apologise for things that aren't true. I won't apologise for anything I say that I believe is true, but I certainly don't like myself when I've repeated things that aren't. And I think, well, it's probably an ego thing, isn't it? But I just, as I say, we get these little synchronicities, these little messages, don't we, that help us realise. And that's why I've called it realisation, because we're all affected by our environment. We're all affected by what we allow into our psyche. And for some of us, especially those that have had it a hell of a lot worse than me, which there are many of, and I don't feel sorry for myself in any way, so don't think I'm not going down that route, but it's harder to come back from. And doing about the child's brain, recapping all of the stuff that I used to teach, an open mind without attaching emotion to it or attaching anything to it, that's the real freedom, I guess. And so yeah, I know I'm waffling on a bit, but I just thought, because of the start of the week, well, it started off alright actually, but then it got worse and then it's got better again, and it's like, I just felt like sharing, because it might resonate with anybody that you know has the down days, as we all do, but we're all prone. We have to ride the waves of emotion, and having a growth spurt is quite painful sometimes. And but when you focus your mind on something positive, when you refocus back onto your passion, then you can conquer that. And that's why I wanted to share today, I think, because it's important, isn't it, to know that we're all the same, really. At the end of the day, we just have different experiences. We're just wired up differently because of those experiences. And if I can help any parents who, as I was, ignorant, because unless you've been taught by good parents how to be a good parent, it's difficult. So that's my project, that's my passion. And I thank the universe for the redirection, the refocus on what's important. And thank everybody that's had any input in any part of my journey, really, because it makes us who we are, doesn't it? And we have to be grateful, and we also have to go through the grieving process, which isn't pleasant. So just remember not to get stuck on anger, because that's where people get stuck a lot of the time. Kyra's found a bone. Kyra, come here. Drop it. Too late. So yeah, don't get stuck in anger. Move on to joy and forgiveness. Forgiveness is key. Remember the good times, remember the valuable lessons, be grateful for the blessings, and I give thanks for what I'm about to produce. And yes, I'll keep you posted when I'm all done, I guess. And oh, she's gone in there again. But anyway, have a great Sunday, and peace, love and light. I feel like I'm back to myself by the end of this week, which is nice.